From the archives of professional wrestling history, the legends of professional wrestling are right here. It's the best of classic wrestling. It gets more classic by the minute.
Welcome to Christmas Jams and Body Slams. My best buddy, Dusty Rhodes. I'm Mike Graham. Dusty's got his helpers with him here today. This is a Christmas special from Florida. You're getting a sneak view of corporate headquarters of back in the day pro wrestling. We're throwing a party. Let's see, I'm looking at Barry Windham, Hector Guerrero, Kendall Windham, Kevin Sullivan, cast of thousands. My son Steven's here. What?
Hey, the devil himself is here. The devil himself, Kevin Sullivan. What an, opportunity for all you people that are snowed in and wondering what it's like to be down and be one of Santa's helpers. I got my helpers with me. I'm Santa for a day, and Santa always had time to play. You know what I'm talking about? This is going to be a tremendous program.
Right out of the box, the first match we're going to is from 1985, Battle of the Belts 1, the first nationally broadcasted wrestling event, and it was done in Tampa. You're going to see the Road Warriors against Harley Race and Stan Hansen. The brutality of this match is unbelievable, and the stars that are in it are classic. But right now, we got a lot of friends, a lot of fun. Friends. We got food from Salt Rock. When they heard we weren't coming, they were so upset.
They bring my
sent
stuff.
their chefs,
Yeah, no.
they sent their food.
Yeah.
Salt Rock Grill is live here today, and you're at a party for Christmas in Florida. Boats going by, swimming in the pool, Santa and his helpers. Oh, God, I can't wait to see the end of this one. Anyway, let's go to the Battle of the Belts 1, 1985.
Even got to the ring. Stan the Man Hansen going absolutely berserk as he crashes out through the crowd and smashes. You've got the Hawk and the Animal out there. The Road Warriors. Ellering has been beaten to one side. And now they're up against that retaining wall. The Hawk and the Animal.
Street fighter going. You better be ready. And of course, Harley Race, 7 times world heavyweight champion. He's no one to take lightly either.
Now, I've said it about him before, and I'll say it again. Race and fight a buzzsaw and give it the first 2 rounds. And he has just caught it from the Hawk, however. The Hawk drives into the head of Harley Race. Vertical suplex.
Again, you can see the man starting to roll to his hands and knees. That obvious, a lot of amateur training when it's embedded in you like that. You never lay on your back. You don't sleep on your back. You never lay on your back doing anything. Every time this man's been dropped on his head, no matter what's been done to him, as soon as he hits the mat, he's rolling for his stomach, because you can't get pinned laying on your stomach.
And the Road Warrior now presses him above his head. And Race came down, and you're right. He has hurt his leg earlier, and it's becoming increasingly obvious he's having a problem maintaining stability on that injured leg.
Right there, the big man, the Animal, going for a press slam. Of course, Harley's 275 pounds. He's been around a long time. When he was going up, he felt what he was doing, got his weight shifted backwards, got the man off balance, and he was unable to give him that slam. He did have him over his head, 275 pounds extended at length, but Harley was able to block it, drop behind him, and avoid coming down on his back.
All right, the Hawk in there now. Ellering, I must say this about Ellering. There's a great difference in the way Ellering manages his men as opposed to Percy Pringle. Ellering much calmer, just as much intensity, I believe, but it's almost by thought process rather than by vocalizing. Ellering paces back and forth, but he is a stern disciplinarian. Now, don't go to Fifth City with Harley Racer. You're in a lot of trouble. There's no question about that. Full body slam on the man. Race rolls to one side. The Hawk came down on that elbow. Whoa, man. Both of them over that top rope. And the referee hurdled to one side. And we've got a pair sixer going on outside the ring. A pair sixer outside the ring. And the referee tolling the count. That's it.
Well, here we go, the first of many classic interviews. The man to my extreme left needs no introduction, the devil himself, Kevin Sullivan. And just after watching the Road Warriors, Kevin, I know you had some serious battles with the Road Warriors.
I had a lot of serious battles with the Road Warriors, but I got to ask you two something. This is always the same thing. Now we have a tape missing from Christmas night a few years ago, where Dusty Rhodes was defeated by Santa Claus. Is this like the Watergate? Is this like another one of these things that are hidden?
You did not tell me that he was going to be here. The devil himself, if I call him, one of my worst enemies of history, on Christmas night transposed himself in a disciple of Santa Claus. Santa Claus was intent on putting me, I'll never forget that, devil. I guarantee if I was younger again, the meanest man in the world is sitting right here. Santa Claus beat the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. The devil's got the tape in the archives and will not give it to us because I want to show you exactly who it was, who Santa Claus was. You did not tell me he was going to be here.
Well, you didn't ask. I am the executive producer. You didn't ask.
And the thing was, the Midnight Rider then rose from the ashes, and it was you,
Wait a minute.
the Midnight Rider.
Classic right here. Mike Rotundo against
The
Terry
elves are busy.
Funk. Mike Rotundo, Terry Funk. Dory Jr. gets involved. The devil gets involved. They fight off this out of the ring into the dressing room, and when they come back out, Terry Funk has an unusual necklace on.
He has a toilet seat by, I think Dusty gave him, or should I say the Midnight Rider.
Ah!
Welcome back to Championship Wrestling from Florida. We've got Terry Funk in the ring. The match is scheduled, Terry Funk against young Tim Horner. Right now, we're awaiting the arrival of Tim Horner. Terry Funk obviously in the ring arguing with the referee, wanting to know where his opponent is. Tim Horner from Alabama, scheduled to wrestle tonight against Terry Funk Jr. Excuse me. Mike Rotundo has just come on the TV set.
Tim Horner's plane is late, but don't worry, I'll take it.
Well, interesting change of events for my first opportunity out here. Tim Horner's plane is apparently late and will not make it, and now Mike Rotundo's decided to take his place. Terry Funk wanting nothing to do with this, arguing with the referee. Mike Rotundo looking for an obvious opportunity to get back at the Funk dynasty. Also a body slam. It's going to take Terry Funk definitely by surprise here. Terry Funk not even fully out of his wrestling attire. Rolls out, looking for an opportunity for a breather. Mike Rotundo right now, and obviously in a dispute over the Florida title match, held with him and Dory Funk Jr., Terry's older brother. Dory Funk Jr. claims to be the Florida title holder right as of now, and is in possession of the belt. Terry having a little trouble removing his clothing here. Seems to have his own wrestling match going on right now with his equipment. Please, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to bear with this. It's a first opportunity for me to do this, and if I make mistakes, I'm sure it'll give you something to have an opportunity to laugh at. Mike Rotundo taking Terry Funk, throwing him out of the ring. Remember, wrestling fans, Sarasota, Robarts Arena tonight. Big card, plenty of wrestling matches and plenty of excitement. Mike Rotundo not satisfied for waiting in the ring. Goes right after his opponent on the floor. Back into the ring now. Your referee is Bill Alfonso. Terry Funk back out on the floor. This is going to be a wild match, I'm sure, to start off our match tonight. Florida Championship Wrestling. Terry Funk grappling with the wrestlers. Terry Funk obviously confused now and dazed. Had no idea he was going to be wrestling tonight, Mike Rotundo. Looking forward to wrestling Tim Horner, I'm sure. Mike Rotundo, arm whips, Terry Funk, the opposite turnbuckle. And again. Mike Rotundo definitely looking to take an advantage on Terry Funk. Shoots him in, reversal. Now Terry Funk trying to take the upper hand. Punching to the forehead. Joe Alfonso needs to step in right here, get him off of the ropes. Mike Rotundo down in the corner, looking for an opportunity to get back out. Now Mike Rotundo out onto the floor, and Terry Funk following him out. It's a hot August night here, Tampa, Florida. Terry Funk versus Mike Rotundo. Mike Rotundo, the holder of the Florida heavyweight title, but not in possession of the belt as of now. Terry Funk bringing Mike Rotundo back into the ring, slamming his head into a turnbuckle. Again, Rotundo blocks, reverses it, slamming Funk's head in. And again, this gives Rotundo a breather. Now he's working on Terry Funk. Again and again into the corner. Funk dazed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd say it had to be over 100 degrees in this studio tonight. Crowd picking up the chant. Terry Funk, delirious, out on his feet. There's an opportunity for Mike Rotundo to take into this airplane spin. Mike Rotundo uses this hole quite a bit. Dizzily dumping Terry Funk. Now, Dory Funk Jr. entering the ring. Give you some help out here, ladies and gentlemen. Pounding on Mike Rotundo. Mike Rotundo, the Florida champion. And in comes Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan hooking Terry Funk's leg. Mike Rotundo firing back on Dory Funk Jr. It's really cut loose already, right here. Kevin Sullivan firing on Terry Funk. Ramming his head into the wooden door. Open hand and slapping him in the chest. Mike Rotundo firing on Dory Funk Jr. Dory Funk Jr. lost. Dazed. Looks like Mike Rotundo has opened the cut over Dory Funk Jr.'s eye. Dory Funk Jr. opened up, out into the crowd, with Rotundo hot on his heels. Mike Rotundo, destined to get back the belt that he rightfully claims as the Florida champion. Kevin Sullivan, Terry Funk, fighting all over the studio. We've lost track of him. It looks like Terry Funk has got part of the bathroom around his neck. I believe he's wearing some of it. Kevin Sullivan, Mike Rotundo, obviously looking to make a reputation against the Funks. All four wrestlers in the ring at this time. The Funks looking for an exit. Kevin Sullivan, Mike Rotundo, still in the ring. Asking for people to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking right now at two men determined to take care of the Funk brothers. Let's pause right now for a commercial break, and we'll get back to this action right after this word from our sponsor.
Hey, you know what? Sitting here with the devil himself, Kevin Sullivan, we can't get into no arguments today because it's Christmas time.
It's Christmas
I brought
time.
you a present.
What did you bring me?
I can't tell you. I got something for you. You're going to love it. You know what I mean?
I'm sure I will.
I'm sure you will. You're going to love it. It's in a box and everything. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a version of the Golden Spike.
I hope so.
Bob Roop.
Bob
Tell me
Roop.
about Bob Roop, man.
We
I mean,
were talking about it. Olympic athlete, tough guy.
yes.
I got him to shave his head.
Yes.
The only person who looked better with his head shaved in half was Luna.
Yeah.
She was hot
Yeah.
looking with her head
Yeah.
shaved.
But you had that spell over people, man.
I
I
had
mean,
a
you know, when I say, not affectionately, because still the longest running feuds in the country, along with the devil, Kevin Sullivan, I call him the devil because he was devilish like that. And you had them do things like that. Me and Bob Roop, when we met, man, I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to see that in just a minute, but it was gangbusters. But, I mean, your memories of him, you wrestled him too. I mean, he was not always in your flock.
He was not always in my flock. He was a great wrestler, Dusty, but he was lacking something. He was lacking guidance. The whole thing was, You were the shining star we all were trying to bring down. And if you show the tape from Christmas that you were Graham and it shows you got beat by Santa Claus. Show the tape. Oh, this is a facade. They hid the tape under the table. Maybe you should give me the tape as a present.
No, hey,
yeah.
Well, there you go. I got a present. See, but you know, let me tell you about Bob Roop. Bob Roop, he worshipped you, okay? And when you talk about he needed some guidance, I don't think the kind of guidance to where people were doing Kool-Aid over in some island over there because one man told them to and they all went out was the kind of guidance you were giving him. I tell you what, you did give him in this thing, and the guidance he got his butt beat in this thing right here.
Don't go to it right now.
No, don't go to it right now. Let me ask you one more question.
Okay, go ahead. One more question.
Was Bob Roop, I heard, definitely afraid of snakes? Is that true?
Bob Roop was definitely afraid of snakes. He hated snakes. You know, he hated snakes so bad that one time he almost went right through a door to get away from a snake.
Well, why did he run around with a snake? Let's go to it right now.
As I said, there's Dusty Rhodes being carried from the ring now, his head swathed in bandages after receiving several blows to the head from Larry the Axe Hennig when Rhodes was trying to save Rocky Johnson from a total disaster. And there, Mr. Roop,
it's not my fault if Dusty Rhodes sticks his nose in somebody else's matches. If a man's going to do that, he has to accept the consequences.
Well, apparently you thought here you were going to take the match by forfeit, but the American Dream is made of prettier things than that, and he's moving right back into the ring, and you attack him before the referee is in the ring or the bell even rings.
Well, the man was coming in the ring, obviously, to wrestle me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to beat him.
Rhodes, who probably was in no condition to compete, back on his feet, firing away, and of course you're very quickly going after that wounded area.
Well, naturally, I wouldn't punch and kick him because I'm a scientific wrestler, but that's his style, and he come up punching me, so that's what he's going to get back.
Attempting a pin here, but Rhodes coming out of a pinning combination, the Florida Heavyweight Championship at stake. Rhodes now, that adrenaline flowing and that great second effort beginning to show now as he's back on his feet in an almost superhuman effort and catches you with that $1 million elbow.
Yeah, and you notice he's got an elbow pad on that $1 million elbow. I'm sure there's something in there besides an elbow.
I'm talking about punches. You're throwing a series of hard right hands, now driving that knee into his head.
Well, I fight fire with fire, and if a man's going to punch and kick at me, that's what he's going to get in return. Like I say, I'm a scientific wrestler in the style of Jack Briscoe. But if a man like Rhodes, who's a ruffian and just a brawler, that's what he'll get from me in return.
Well, of course, it's taken you some time to get this reviewed by the National Wrestling Alliance. There you're hurdled outside of the ring, your own forward momentum carrying you out. You back in now and obviously showing the pain that fall had on you. Dusty Rhodes.
The man obviously doing his best to hurt me. He's not trying to beat me here. He's just trying to beat me up.
Larry the Axe Hennig, the man that Rhodes had the altercation with preceding this match, moving down the ringside, and Dusty Rhodes, after Hennig now, pounding away at him outside the ring.
Now, Hennig came down. He wasn't in the ring. He came down maybe to get a better view of the match, and Rhodes jumped out and attacked the man. Now, I didn't ask Larry Hennig to come down there. Like I say, and here comes Cyclone Negro. I didn't ask him to come down there, and here comes Rocky Johnson. As far as I'm concerned, this match should have been stopped right here. And now look at this. Rocky Johnson drop kicks me. Dusty Rhodes drops on me with an elbow. The referee didn't see the drop kick and counts me down. Now, of course, when the NWA has seen this film and reviewed it, they naturally will not let the Florida Heavyweight Championship change hands on this kind of fall.
Well, Mr. Roop, obviously we do have a wild melee occurring here. The referee has gone over now to pick up the Florida Heavyweight Championship belt. He's awarding it to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. You're obviously a completely frustrated individual at this point.
Well, the feelings that I felt at this time, I think, are expressed best. Frustration. I knew I was cheated. I knew that I wasn't beaten fair and square. There's four men in the ring. There's nothing I can do about it at this time.
Well, this is really my first time at doing this type of announcing and everything, but right now, what? Santa's out there.
What are you doing over there?
How do they shoot TV shows at a party? I don't know, especially with a bunch of party troublemakers. Anyway, we're going to see some very famous wrestlers right now in Bobo Brazil and Bubba Douglas against the Assassins. And Hector, I know that you knew Bobo Brazil and was around him a lot in the early phases of your match.
You know what? Yeah, my career.
Excuse me for having a fun here.
No.
That's
Mike,
what it's about, right?
I'm loving it. You know what? Bobo Brazil is an icon as a wrestler. Not only to his generation, to all the people that followed him and knew him. You know, he was a man of integrity, and not only in the ring, but out of the ring. I loved him. But Bubba Douglas, please, let me please.
Go ahead.
Ice cream soda, ginger ale pop, Bubba Douglas is on top. Yeah, man, that's what he said before he went on the ring. And then Bubba Douglas and Bobo Brazil, there was a duet, man. There was the thing happening, yeah.
Kendall, I know it was in your early careers and Bubba's later time, but did you have an opportunity to be around these guys?
God bless Bubba. Yes, I did. And then, I mean, pretty much Hector summed the whole thing up with the song that he just sang. I mean, ice cream soda, Bubba Douglas is on top. That's it.
I wrestled against Bubba Douglas, Steve Kern and I one night, and Kern suckered and took him down, and when he took him down, Bubba started laughing, and Kern was on top of him, and it looked like the old monkey on the football thing. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was actually seeing. But anyway, let's go to Bubba Douglas, Bobo Brazil, the Masked Assassins right now.
Ginger ale pop, ya booba, lubba luboo.
Same time, Bobo Brazil, well over 6 feet 6 inches tall, over 300 pounds, a magnificent specimen of a man. Now you see all four of them in the ring at one time, and Douglas and Brazil dispatching the Assassins very quickly. Bobo Brazil offering more punishment. Good teamwork between him and Bubba Douglas. Bobo Brazil with a good high knee lift, and the Assassin once again leaves the ring in quick order. The tag is made. Bubba Douglas moves back in. Bobo Brazil outside the ring. It's Douglas with a hip lock takedown. Again, the tag is made, and it is Bobo Brazil catching the Assassins on both sides. A chop across the throat. The second Assassin moves in. Bobo Brazil catches him, and Bobo Brazil, unmindful of the number of opponents he's facing at one time, dispatches them quickly and efficiently. And now it's Brazil. After the Masters, Bubba Douglas keeps the other Assassin occupied. Whenever you see the opportunity to see this man, Bobo Brazil, he is truly a legend in his own time, scoring the pinfall.
Through the years, my socializing has got me in some trouble, and here roaming around saying hi to everybody today. It could happen again.
Remember Kansas City?
This man, hey, it needs no introduction. Barry Windham is with us today, live and in color. We got some great stuff. We saw you battling Ric Flair a week ago. Ron Bass 2 months ago,
Well,
and then you've had some great matches.
Michael, he dominated the scene as a young guy like I never seen. As you know, Barry came along with, has been with me, and you, of course, have been with me a long time. It became my lieutenant.
Part of your posse.
Yeah, my posse, my lieutenant when I moved up in to different areas of the country and everything. And but he's seen young guys come and go, and new guys that have different names come and go, like we're getting ready to see. So the guys, what's he called, Black Magic?
This man wrestles Black Magic, but he's Norman Smiley. His very first match.
Yeah.
This was his first match, and he was turned into the big wig.
Norman, like martial arts and
Yeah.
a karate expert
Yeah.
and all that, and then
Yeah.
he wanted to be a wrestler, and we got him in there.
But he's wrestling a couple guys that I know Barry had some trouble with in
Zambuie Express,
Kendo Nagasaki and Big Kareem, Ray Candy.
Yeah.
God bless him, with Humperdinck.
And Humperdinck, always.
The Humperdinck
Going
always
aside.
out there
Yeah.
running around. I talked to Hump a couple weeks ago. He's really wanting to come down and do a show with us. So
He got to
he's
because
cool.
he's the hottest show. BW, we're getting ready. We're going to talk all day with these great stars, I guess. What a thrill it is for us. But let's take a look at a young Norman Smiley.
Humperdinck is bringing in a couple of his shock troops in the form of Kareem Muhammad, Kendo Nagasaki, and you're also seeing there the Ninja outside of the ring.
Well, I think the Ninja might be out here as a backup for Humperdinck. We've had some episodes the last several weeks where
That we have.
Ron Bass has come out here and blasted Humperdinck and any of his men that he could. And I think Humperdinck has asked the Ninja to stay out there and watch his back.
Well, inside of the ring with Kendo Nagasaki, Rick Allen. And we've got another a new wrestler we'll be seeing here shortly, I would presume, the Black Magic. Maybe not. Maybe not, Bob. As we see right now, Kareem Muhammad and taking over where Kendo Nagasaki left off on Rick Allen, making those quick tags, going to work very quickly. Quick kick there to the abdomen of Rick Allen. More hits by Kareem Muhammad to the back, and Rick Allen now able to make that hot tag to Black Magic.
Well, what happens is, I'm sure Humperdinck and Kareem are watching the opening, the live opening of the program today, where Kareem saw himself getting suplexed. He wants to come out here and erase that from everybody's memory. He wants to come out here and just so dominate and so overwhelm his opponents.
Well, it's just hard to imagine, although we saw it on videotape, the ability that it would take by anyone to be able to suplex a man the size of Kareem Muhammad. No doubt about that, and I'm sure, Bob, he does want to erase that from the memories of everyone watching.
Well, they say you're only as good as your latest match, or you're as good as your latest match. Now, it depends on whether you're winning or losing. Kareem's going to come out here and annihilate some people, try to intimidate his upcoming opponent. So I can say, for speaking for Lex Luger, I've never seen him intimidated by anything. So it's not going to work for him. Oh, Kareem's going to try two at once, I guess.
Well, he's certainly one of the few individuals that can take on two at once.
Well, he might have made a mistake here.
Well, no, he got that splash.
Squashes him in that corner.
Squashed him right up there against the ring post, and Black Magic taking a kick there.
Nagasaki came from the other side and just tore his head off.
Well, once again, the shot
through. That splash.
Oh. Well, there you have it.
Devastating,
once
Stan.
again, absolutely, Bob. Devastating. The shock troops, Kareem Muhammad, Kendo Nagasaki with the Ninja outside there, and making their way over here. A man who is never, thank you, Bob, a man who is never short on words, Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Or short on good looks or short on talent. Let me tell you a few things, Daddy-O, that are going on around here today. You might have noticed I had the Ninja in the corner to watch my back because there's a lot of people around here, namely Ron Bass, who are back jumping. But let me tell you another thing. As if the fabulous ones don't have enough trouble right now with the sheep herders. They're barking up my tree too, Daddy-O, and I'm talking about the Asian assassins of Kendo Nagasaki and the Ninja. Well, let me tell you something, Bass. Anytime, any place, we're ready for you, and we got what it takes to stop.
Right now, I'm really proud to introduce this next match because it's the fabulous ones, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane. Steve and I grew up together. We were partners together. Steve then went on and did a lot of stuff, but he and Stan Lane became the fabulous ones, kind of the first video rock and roll wrestling tag team in history. And we're going to go to that video with Steve and Stan and Sharp Dressed Man in and out of matches and see some stuff the first time it ever happened.
Well, you know, the opportunity changed nowadays, as we see in our business, that the videos have become such an important part. And I know when we were doing videos and then they started doing videos in Memphis and guys came in and the crowd just responded to it because it was something so unique and so new at that time, and now it's become whole hat. But these guys were the first rock and roll guys that really did this thing to the Sharp Dressed Man, and they would play that music before it come out, and it was tremendous. I mean, it was really, really good. You know what I'm talking about?
Santa, you've done a great job over here so far. I like your hat, the food and everything. It looks like you brought some good-looking helpers with you. Where'd Santa's helpers come out of?
Hey, Paul, what is this?
Oysters Bienville.
Oysters Bienville.
3 months down, you can't figure that out.
This don't look like an
we're gonna get him on the. We're gonna get him on camera before this is over, so he can explain to you exactly what it is. Well, but it's mixed in with stuff. Anyway, let's go right now to Sharp Dressed Man, the fabulous one, Steve Keirn and Stan Lane, live and in color.
that car.
I don't need a reason why they come running just because they care. 'Cause every girl crazy about his goddamn man.
Welcome back. I think we're removing some furniture and things are changing. I can't get any silverware. Good thing these meatballs are good because I'm eating them by hand. Anyway, Hector Guerrero, longtime friend. The match we're getting ready to see, the King Harley Race against Wahoo McDaniels. Hector's been in the ring against both of them before. The Dream has battled both of them before. You and Wahoo were big buddies forever.
Yeah.
Unbelievable show today.
Let me tell you something, about this man right here. Pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters ever to step in the ring. And I mean that about Hector, and we know, but a good man with a great heart. But he knew Wahoo McDaniel.
Oh, yeah.
He knew Harley Race, and he understood that that's a tremendous impact that these two guys had on our industry, starting with Harley Race. Hector, what do you remember so much about him?
Harley Race to me was,
here. Go ahead.
Harley was the original king. Not only the original king, he was all around. He was favorites not only in Japan, but all through the United States.
Yeah.
Not only that, he battled Dory Funk Sr., Dory Funk Jr.
Yeah.
Not only that, he was against
Funk?
Jerry and Jack Briscoe's.
Yeah.
Terry Funk. He was one of the best pound per pound heavyweight wrestlers of the world.
Yeah.
Champion heavyweight wrestler. And Dream, you were right there with him. You battled him many times.
Well, and the thing about Harley Race is he always was on top of his game. He brought in a game every night. Another guy we want to talk about that's in this situation right here is Wahoo McDaniel.
Correctly.
Probably to me the greatest Indian wrestler or athlete that there was since Jim Thorpe.
I've met a lot of guys that can chop.
I have a question. Didn't Wahoo McDaniels run 20-something miles for a six-pack of beer from someplace on the road to Amarillo, Texas, on a dare?
And with our psychedelic head of cameras and producers and executives
he ran
back
22
there,
miles.
They know that I talked about that on the first tape we did. You know what I mean?
No, you did not.
So senility, when you get older, you start thinking of stuff that's kind of in the back. Right? Let's go to that match right now.
Where you going?
I'm going to go where you going and do what I do best. are kind of roaming around getting everybody's ideas and suggestions, but we're getting ready to see the Devil battling Lex Luger. When Lex had just started, was kind of more of a bodybuilder than he was a fighter. And you had Big Ed Gantner and something that, who's that guy, Foley, that wrestled in New York?
Mick Foley. I had the first Mankind match. But Michael, we talked about great talent that came from Florida. Luger, Ed Gantner, yourself, Paul Orndorff. I mean, this is where it all happened.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
The American Dream became the American Dream here in Florida, correct?
You know, is it amazing how Michael starts to imitate me as the day goes on? And that is true, but without the guys he mentioned,
party.
You know, I said this before. The Florida connection was stronger than anybody in the country. It was unbelievable. And with Orndorff and all the guys that he had mentioned being from here, and the Devil was still upsetting me over this tape from Christmas.
And
so
I want to see the tape.
I've got a present for you, so I'm gonna go get the present. You finish.
Easy guys. Okay. What kind of present's he gonna get for you?
You better get that.
I know
tape,
you.
Michael.
I know you gave Lex Luger a present. Probably one that he wishes he'd get now, because I don't think he's getting too many presents.
I don't think Lex is getting too many presents, but the other thing was Ed Gantner. He started here. God bless Ed Gantner. He's gone, but Ed was another talent from Florida. This is where it all started, and this is where it all ended.
Right now, Kevin Sullivan, the first Mankind against Lex Luger.
This man, Kevin Sullivan, and what kind of a problem he has been. I thought it might be interesting to go back in time for just a moment and take a look at Kevin Sullivan and what happened anytime he gets a chance to move against somebody like Lex Luger. You see here, Ed the Bull Gantner charging in there as well, catching Lex Luger as he had Sullivan in a lot of trouble. But now it's Ed the Bull Gantner, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and of course Kevin Sullivan administering all the punishment they can to Lex Luger. Luger has been indeed a completely marked man. There's no question about it. And Sullivan is also, I might add, a total mercenary. All he's interested in life is money. And obviously the bounty that's been put out by one Sir Oliver Humperdinck has had a large bearing on that. And Sullivan wastes no mercy on anyone that gets in his way. He is known as a man who is completely and totally merciless, and I think, Buddy, you'd agree to that.
That's right, Gordon. I believe everybody knows that, Gordon, you yourself, you're nationally syndicated on other television wrestling programs besides American Championship Wrestling. And just last night in Birmingham, you were able to pin Kevin Sullivan down for an exclusive interview. I would like to show the wrestling fans that interview, so let's go to that right now.
I guess the most traveled wrestler in the world right now is the mystic one, Kevin Sullivan. We've heard from him from Hawaii. We've heard from him from Atlanta. We've heard from him from New Jersey. I caught up with him in Birmingham.
You see, Mr. Soley, the wrestling world is on fire. The two worlds are going to collide. The immovable object and their irresistible force. You see, Lex Luger, before I was exiled from Florida, before the hierarchy tried to hide you and baby you and pamper you, when they made sure that I said to you, stand on my right side and you'll be a star. They made sure, because my character, they say, is unworthy. Some people do anyway. Lex Luger, I've been waiting a night, listening to your name as the airwig crawled in and crawled out. It would say, Luger, Luger. And never did I dream in my wildest dreams that you would sign your name on a dotted line for a cage. And I don't care, Mr. Soley, if it's Orlando, Miami, Sarasota, you name it. I'll be there, because Lex Luger, you're going to feel the wrath of a man that was strapped to the tree of woe for almost a year. And Mr. Luger, remember this. They've all tried it, from Dusty Rhodes to Andre the Giant, Blackjack Mulligan, Barry Windham, and they all were stretched out. Mr. Soley, history is going to repeat itself more than once. Time and time again, I have proved myself right. Luger, when I take your face and run it through the cage, it's mine.
History does repeat itself, be it Benito Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, or Napoleon.
You know, coming back here, sitting with somebody that when you talk about second, third generation wrestlers in our industry, the Wyndhams, I mean, you know, they're unparalleled. And there's a lot of closeness between me and the Wyndhams, and BW, as you know, had been with me the longest of anybody. But I'm sitting here with Kendall Wyndham, had an opportunity at an early age to be in the ring with a really, you know, Luger was, look at there, sweetie. Luger was a rookie, you know what I mean, I think at that time. So what was it like to be in there with him?
Well, I think that, you know, Luger had just now started wrestling as well. I think I'd been wrestling maybe about 6-8 months, and Luger had just started wrestling too.
Keep talking.
So, you know, Luger was big, strong, but really didn't have a lot of wrestling experience at that point.
I'll see you after that. I'm getting on the mingle.
I'm sorry about your luck.
Yeah, luck. Good luck to you. Go ahead, Kendall. Jesus. Man. You see how it is? It has never changed, you know?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, besides Luger, you were against Bad News Allen with a big bad guy.
Judo guy, right?
Bruiser Brody.
Judo, yeah.
Bruiser Brody. I mean, bad time, big time, bad time.
One of the toughest men ever to walk the face of this planet.
But you had another guy that was a football player. So you were in there, you came from a wrestling background with the Wyndhams, and you came, you know, and the bottom line, you're in there with Ron Simmons.
Yeah.
Ron Simmons, a great All-American in Florida.
Fantastic. FSU.
You know, so, yeah, in the old days of the old timers would say, boy, you had your work cut out for you because you got a rookie and you are a natural talent. But Ron Simmons, a lot of strength from him.
Big strength. I think Ron Simmons was one of the first people to ever bench press 500 pounds. Wow. Somebody does what I was told.
Yeah.
You know, of course, that's Ron's words. But, you know, Ron was like 17, 18 years old, bench pressing 500 pounds. I mean, just phenomenal athlete, quickness, strength, speed, just all-around good guy as well.
Let's go take a look at it right now, see how fast they are.
All right.
Right now, though, I might just preface the Southern Heavyweight Champion by saying, let's take a look at the last time that Lex Luger and Bad News Allen collided, and, well, you'll see how bad the blood is between these two men. Both men are reeling back to their feet. Tag is made. Ron Simmons comes charging in. Kendall Wyndham hurtling off the ring apron, and it is Ron Simmons really exploding now on the Cuban assassin. Wait a minute. Here comes Bad News Allen, and now Lex Luger is mixing it up. Now it's Bruiser Brody tangling with him.
Well, it looks like the referee is kind of at odds in. He doesn't know where to start counting, who to count out. It gets such a mixed up mess, and there are times you don't know who the legal man is in the ring. And there's Bruiser Brody picking up Ron Simmons, dropping him over that top rope. Lex Luger hurtled out through the middle rope. Kendall Wyndham out on the floor. Looks like the match is going out to the floor now.
Well, it has indeed. And you can see those boots being delivered by Bad News Allen. And meanwhile, we've got we had a pinfall in the ring. We had a pinfall in the ring, but look at this. Bad News Allen and Bruiser Brody double teaming on Lex Luger outside the ring, so they're strictly after the bounty. They are strictly after the bounty. They are after the bounty. A pinfall did occur in the ring, but the battle goes on out. Well, there you have it. Extremely bad blood between this man, Bad News Allen, and the Rookie of the Year as named by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and you, the wrestling fans who named him that, Lex Luger, the Southern Heavyweight Champion. So that's coming up.
Mike, get over here. Come on, Mike.
Hey, I'm busy, you know. I'm a star here at my own show. I'm busy. What, you have my son? What?
What's this supposed to mean? Booty call.
It's what? It's
boo-malicious. I thought those were the trolls. The elves. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, how could you say that? Barry has always been a troublemaker, no matter what. Since he was 19 years old, he's here with my son, Stephen, Hector Guerrero, Kendall. I've known Kendall since he was about 16, I think, but I'm only 31, so Kendall was real young. We got the elves going on.
Fire this thing up. Fire this thing up. Let's go.
We're going to go for a boat ride in a little while on
Stephen, put this thing
Booty Call. Hate to say that, but that's the way it is. Hey, easy. Guys having too much fun here. We're getting ready to watch a match with Lex Luger and Bad News Allen. Who wants to watch Lex Luger and Bad News Allen when we got all this going on? Anyway, but that's what, you and Luger were buddies. You used to travel with him. hang out with him. That's what he used to say.
I forgot about that.
It's amazing how soon people forget about things in life, but Michael Graham never forgets. Back in the day, pro wrestling, the best wrestling on TV. Lex Luger.
I can remember some
Lex Luger back in the day with Bad News Allen. Let's do it.
Tell you the things?
Yeah.
Remember San Francisco?
Enough.
Waiting now for the introductions to be made for this Southern Heavyweight Championship match. The two principals are into the ring.
Time limit. Accompanied to the ring by his mentor, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, the challenger. From Harlem, New York, 258 pounds, Bad News Allen. Weighing in at 275 pounds from Chicago, Illinois, the Southern Heavyweight Wrestling Champion, Lex Luger.
Lex Luger putting the title on the line. Got to say one thing about the man. He puts his money where his mouth is. He doesn't like Bad News Allen. There's bad blood between them. And Luger not wasting any time whatsoever. He has gone beyond the scope of titles here. He's tired of the challenges. He's tired of the bounties being put out by Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and has decided to fight fire with fire, go after it. Launch a hefty offense immediately, and buddy, he looks like he's got things going. He took Bad News Allen by surprise.
You know, Gordon, I kind of think that maybe Lex Luger is finally finding out what professional wrestling is all about. This is not a game for kids. This is out for keeps. And if you can get a man from the rear and soften him up, slow him up, when something as important as the Southern title and $25,000 bounty money is at stake, you take advantage of any and every opportunity that you can, because you may rest assured that Bad News Allen is going to do just that. And I tell you, right now, I believe these two men are pretty evenly matched. But I will have to perhaps give the edge to Bad News Allen. This man is experienced. He has Sir Oliver Humperdinck at ringside as his mentor. And Bad News Allen will stop at absolutely nothing to win a match.
Bad News Allen, a chop into the throat of Lex Luger. And the Southern Heavyweight Champion, bent backwards over the ropes, has got a handful of problems here. Referee Bill Alfonso watching carefully. Allen catches him once again. A forearm in between the shoulder blades and smashes Lex Luger into the turnbuckle. Luger is down. Luger's got some problems.
Well, you know, watching Bad News Allen, the man is very methodical. He considers himself the ultimate warrior. And, you know, after watching some of these Rambo movies, I think Bad News Allen could teach Rambo a lot. And martial arts, the arts of self-defense. Right now with Lex Luger on the floor, looks like Bad News Allen's going for a chair right here in front of me. And he looks like, well, yep, he brought it right down across the shoulders and back of Lex Luger. Lex Luger is groveling on the floor. This man is in pain. This match could be over almost before it began. Bad News Allen is going to make an example out of Lex Luger.
Well, he's certainly trying to, and the interesting aspect here is both men are outside the ring. And it is Bad News Allen smashing him right into the table next to Buddy Colt. And now Luger is firing back.
That's what I said. I think Lex Luger has finally realized what wrestling is all about, the professional rankings. He grabbed that cord there from the television cameras. He wrapped around Bad News Allen's neck all over the floor now, and Lex Luger is really piling it on to Bad News Allen.
So the battle rages outside the ring. And as I said, this transcends really the Southern title. This is strictly each man seeking vengeance on the other. And it's Bad News Allen turning the tables on Lex Luger.
Well, I'll tell you, this here is anything but a wrestling match. It is a brawl at its worst. These men have completely forgotten all about wrestling. The referees cannot restore order in the ring. He doesn't want to stop the match. There's a lot riding on this match now.
Luger smashed into that turnbuckle and driven back to the canvas once again. And the crowd really on Luger's side here. And they're hurtling all sorts of comments to Bad News Allen. Luger in trouble. Luger in more trouble, I think, than I've ever seen him in a match before against a single opponent.
We know Gordon Bad News Allen, no doubt one of the roughest opponents anywhere in the wrestling world. And with Sir Oliver Humperdinck, like what he just did, he's going to make sure that his man has every opportunity to win that match, and he will help Bad News Allen anytime he gets a chance.
Luger fires back. Luger catches him in the midsection. Luger catches him once again. Bad News Allen rips across the eyes of Lex Luger.
Well, one thing I can tell you, neither of these men are a quitter in any respect of words. Both men will fight right to the very end. Both men must be masochistic. They can't feel any pain. Their adrenaline's up. They're fighting as hard as they can. Just right back and forth. Looks like right now, Lex Luger's in a lot of trouble. Oh.
Luger barely rolling out of the way just in the nick of time. And so Bad News Allen hitting that ring mat full force. And he was counting on the body of Lex Luger to be down there underneath him to take the brunt of that. Instead, he found the hard canvas. And you could hear the crowd picking up the chant now, Luger, Luger, Luger. And Bad News Allen catches it coming in as Lex Luger connects. And Luger, a picture of grim determination. Moving in against him once again. High hip toss by Lex Luger. And Luger now, and he is really pumped up. He connected with one that came in from the backyard. He catches him once again. The back of the elbow has Bad News Allen, the challenger, down. He catches Sir Oliver Humperdinck.
Well, you see right there, Lex Luger made a mistake. He turned his back on Bad News Allen, and it could have happened where Bad News could have got the advantage up there.
Atomic knee drop by Lex Luger. Luger moving in on Bad News Allen once again. Irish whip. That time he reversed the trend a little bit. He got a 3 count. He got a 3 count. He got a 3 count. We could see it very plainly. Those feet were on the ropes, but the referee did not see it. The referee could not see it.
I told everybody it was going to happen, Buddy Cole. I told everybody it was a matter of time before the Ultimate Warrior would defeat Lex Luger. And now, your new Southern Heavyweight Champion, the Ultimate Warrior, Bad News Allen.
All right. There you have it, Bad News Allen leaving. Lex Luger can't believe what happened to him, but it did, and it did indeed.
Mingle, 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 party, party, party. There's just too much stuff going on. I'm going to ask you a question, young man, and I know you're a history buff. There's a guy in this next match coming up that has something to do with the Rock and Roll Express. In some way, the Rock and Roll Express. Do you know what that is?
You're just speaking about Ricky Gibson, correct?
Yeah,
Ricky is Robert Gibson's brother, and Robert is half of the Rock and Roll Express.
There you go. The man that knows his history. How can you not wrestle, not know your history? Dream, Hiro Matsuda, great trainer, tough guy.
Oh my God, 500 push-ups a day, 500 Hindu squats, make you run around the building and then beat you to death.
Take a look at it.
Buddy, I know that you were digging around in the archives and came up with an interesting bit of film on Hiro Matsuda.
That's right, Gord. You know, many wrestling fans throughout the country right now know of Hiro Matsuda as a trainer. Hiro Matsuda trained many of the wrestling greats in the wrestling world today. Hulk Hogan, Paul Orndorff, Lex Luger, Ed the Bull Gantner, Dewey Forte, Ron Simmons, and a host of others. But besides that, Hiro Matsuda is one of the only men that ever pinfalled the invincible Danny Hodge to win the Junior Heavyweight Championship of the world. Now, Hiro Matsuda was a world-class wrestler, and we have a film here that we were able to dig out, kind of nostalgia and wrestling from about 10 years ago. So let's take a look at that film.
All right, we're going back actually to 1975, and you'll get a chance to see Matsuda as he was as one of the toughest competitors in the sport. He uses chops with devastating effectiveness. He asks no quarter and he gives no quarter. That is for sure. You can see once again the devastating power he has when he connects with those hands. And if you look at those hands carefully, you can see the years and years and years of training, and you can see how the hands have become slightly misshapen from breaking the bricks and the boards. The little finger and that whole side of the hand itself is out of proportion with the balance of the hand, and that's strictly because of his training. He was under one of the top shodans in Japan, I think from around the age of 6, buddy.
That's right. I've known Hiro Matsuda for probably over 20 years. This man has quite a reputation everywhere in the world. His method of wrestling was not fast and exciting, but slow and methodical and winning matches. And he would really has injured many opponents. He is a master at the martial arts, a master at freestyle wrestling. The man is almost impervious to pain. And during his reign in professional wrestling, he was second to none. Like I said earlier, he held for quite some time the junior championship of the world by defeating Danny Hodge, who was just the invincible wrestler from Oklahoma.
Yes, it was my pleasure to announce that particular match. That's when Leroy McGurk, of course, who was the mentor to Danny Hodge, they came to Florida. They wrestled right here on Championship Wrestling from Florida at that time. Notice the way now Matsuda has his man, and he finally got him into the ring ropes here.
You know, Gordon, one thing I'd like to add, even though this film here is approximately 10 years old, Hiro Matsuda today is in as good a physical condition as he was in that film, which is 10 years old. Hiro Matsuda can still wrestle as good, move as good, and in as good, if not better condition. Right now, he has a sleeper hold on his opponent, and when Matsuda gets a sleeper hold on, it's usually a statement. No, his opponent there, I believe his name is Tony Gibson, was able to get out of that by very smartly running into the corner, ducking down, and thrusting Matsuda's head into that turnbuckle.
All right, he got the foot on the ropes at this point in time, and so that averts a possible pinfall, and it is Matsuda caught up this time by Gibson, but again, Matsuda, using those powerful legs, is able to spring himself free. Yeah, Lex Luger was telling me, he said the amazing thing, and Ron Simmons said it too. He said the amazing thing, he said in football training camps, the coaches will tell you what they want you to do, but he said when you train with Matsuda, you look at Matsuda's training right along with you. So he'll do 1,000, I guess, Hindu squats a day. Beautiful head scissors here by Gibson, Matsuda into those ropes. And so Gibson has really started to move on very, very well. And it is Matsuda with an Irish whip. And it is Gibson dumped over that top rope. Gibson dumped over the top rope.
Well, that move there was kind of would have been a controversial move. Like did Matsuda deliberately dumping over the Matsuda over the top rope, or Matsuda ducking down out of the way, did Gibson accidentally go over by missing that flying head scissors?
Well, an automatic disqualification. An automatic disqualification. And Matsuda has to be a very, very disappointed man to lose the match in that manner. But the most important thing, I think, was for everybody to get a look at the tremendous athlete, the great competitor that Hiro Matsuda was and still is in my book.
Well, Kendall, I have to say that with the Dream being gone and his helper being here, definitely adds a new look to the show instead of the American dream. The helpers. Hey, thanks for the helper. Thanks for Elsa. Thanks for Elsa. You stay over there. You and those super heavyweights stay over there. We got stuff going on here anyway. Kendall, we're getting ready. These guys, I'm telling you, no more shots. No more shots. We're going to get into some fun here, but right now we're going to see a match with you and Vic Steamboat, brother of Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon, against the Sheepherders.
Absolutely. First time.
1986 or something?
Yep. First time I met Vic was up in Maine. Was up there in Maine. Me and Vic wound up being the champions, the Florida Tag Team champions. And so this match right here is probably going to be a pretty good experience.
I'm telling you, the stuff that we've got, of course, Vic Steamboat with a short-term career. He got a real bad injury and had to retire at an early age, but he was a tough competitor. His brother, need not say anything about him, the Dragon. He was around for a long time and had a great wrestling career. The Wyndham family. Barry's around here. There's Barry, the big brother, standing over there. We're gonna get Blackjack Mulligan in here in a couple months and do a family reunion with Barry, Kendall, and Blackjack, and we're gonna have a lot of fun doing this if we can get Dusty and them to quiet down so we can focus on Santa's helpers and everything, because it is Christmas, okay? This lady came all the way from Australia to be here at this show today. Santa's other helpers from all over the world came in from the North Pole, South Pole, and areas unseen before. So right now we're getting ready to go to Kendall Wyndham, Vic Steamboat, against the Sheepherders that went on to be
the
Sheepherders,
yeah,
with Johnny Ace as the manager. You're going to see it all today.
Hiro Matsuda's students or proteges, if you will. And he has been taking a beating here as he's been double teamed, but the Sheepherders now becoming extremely confident. Steamboat ducks away, comes back, catches him very nicely.
Well, right there, Vic Steamboat made a mistake. He tried to cover the Sheepherder. He should have tagged out to begin with. But still, Kendall Wyndham's coming in, and he's taking the upper hand of the Sheepherder. Big, high flying backdrop, and the Sheepherder is in trouble.
Kendall Wyndham catches him with another beautiful drop kick, catches the second Sheepherder coming in, drives him out of the ring. Kendall Wyndham catching him with a pair of good solid left hands once again. Now a lateral press, and it's broken up by the Sheepherders. And now Vic Steamboat is in there. The referee, Bill Alfonso, has joined me here at the desk. And from what he just whispered in my ear, we may have to cut away from this match for a very, very important announcement. And we'll see what he's caught him.
Well, that was almost a pinfall there with that inside cradle. Looks like the two Sheepherders right now are double teaming Kendall Wyndham. Well, it looks like the referee, he's being hurtled down too.
And they're double teaming on Kendall Wyndham. Oh, got his own partner. Got his own partner. And so you've got him battling away now. You've got him battling away now. The referee. The bell has rung. The referee has called for the bell. And so just desserts were served up in that particular point in time. Well, as I said, of course, Bill Alfonso, the referee, has joined me at this time. And he has with him the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Bill, I would assume that you haven't had an opportunity to review the tape.
Just like the National Football Alliance, we had a look at the film, and the finishing hold that Bad News Allen used on Lex Luger to defeat him was illegal. Both feet on the rope, and I'll promptly return this belt to the rightful owner, which is Lex Luger.
Well, I got news for everybody. When we do the show with Kendall, Barry, Blackjack, and Dusty, and me, we're going to have a panoramic lens, or you guys are going to stand in the next county, because we ain't going to be able to get everybody on TV. I got news for you. They better shoot this thing in big pictures. Anyway.
Widescreen.
famous brothers right here, Kendall Windham.
We're about to see
Barry
Blackjack
Windham.
and Dusty, right?
We're going to see Blackjack, their dad, Blackjack Mulligan, and
Mr.
Dusty
Olympia.
Rhodes
You know what?
against
Only
Mr.
I know who
Olympia.
Mr. Olympia is.
I seen him walking around here. I seen him. Yeah.
Highlands County, something like that? Has it got something to do with it?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Olympia.
We got a lot of, oh, he's not been, Dusty's keeping him hidden over there. The stories and the stuff that has gone on with Dusty and Blackjack through the years, and of course Kendall and Barry, just classic things. You're going to see all kinds of shows next year, but we're going to focus on what we got going on today. You guys enjoying the food?
Oh, absolutely.
Salt serves up a
And the
great
trolls,
dinner,
I mean the elves.
Yeah.
You got them from Australia, all over the world, right?
They're coming from everywhere.
They're cute little.
They heard the White Owl was in town and they were flying in to see what was going on. Anyway.
Meet one of my elves. My elf.
Yes. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
You're not the Australian elf, are
No,
you?
the other Australian elf is back there.
There you go. There she is,
Howie
Kendall.
Godwin.
Yeah, I met the Australian elf. She was
Mr.
here
Olympia,
sitting next
I
to me.
recognize you anywhere. That nose, I saw it through the mask.
Get away. Marauder. See you.
The Marauder.
The masked Marauder.
Hey, moonlighted every now and then.
I didn't mean to interrupt you,
I
Mike,
thought
but-
you
You're
were
still
a woman.
moonlighting,
Where's
right?
Missy at? I'm going to go find Missy and get to the bottom
You ain't
of it.
going to find Missy. Missy is put away. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we did bring our own security because he is the sheriff of Highlands County, so it would be a hard time for us to get in any trouble
In
here
today,
today.
the 30s, not
But
anymore.
if anybody could get in trouble with the sheriff as a guest, it would be this crew here. So the show's not over.
I take
You
the
might
fifth.
see something fun.
Coming down that railroad track. Hey, look beyond the coming. Coming down that railroad track. It's called the Iron Blossom Special. Bringing my baby back.
Well, here it is. The family is together. Dusty Rhodes and Blackjack Mulligan. And brother, what a pair of competitors they are. A couple of native-born Texans. And when they get in the ring, buddy, it's going to be 150%.
You know, Gordon, this tag team combination has to be one of the most powerful and the most awesome tag team combinations ever put together. You know, it wasn't too long ago when Kevin Sullivan was one of the tag. And they look at these two members of the family. They have to be shaking in their boots, knowing that their time is going to come. They will be having to pay their dues before long. This tag team combination here, to me, is just about as unbeatable a team as you could ever see anywhere in the world.
That's Blackjack Mulligan out there against Golden Boy Gray. And Blackjack Mulligan, of course, went to Texas out of El Paso. Went on into the pro ranks in football, played for Denver and for the New York Jets under Weeb Eubank. His college career, his college coach, interestingly enough, was Bum Phillips. Dusty Rhodes, of course, out of West Texas State, had a great career there in football and in baseball. Dusty was a shortstop. He and Mulligan, close friends.
You know, this team that Blackjack and Dusty Rhodes are going up against, Golden Boy, Jerry Gray, and Mr. Olympia, they are a very pair of tough competitors. It seems like Mr. Olympia now is doing his very best to try and slow Blackjack down, all to no avail. This team there, they are just too much. And the quick tag made to Dusty Rhodes, and he comes with that big, powerful bionic elbow down across the upper chest of Mr. Olympia. It's all over.
Dusty had him for the pin. Dusty had him for the pin, and so did Blackjack Mulligan. Had Golden Boy Gray in that claw hold, and so both men soundly defeated.
Yeah, man, you know, I mean, let me tell you who I found here, man. As we mingle around here, in the independent circle of today's industry, one of the greatest tag teams out there is the Phi Delta guys, man, and these are my posse right here. We talk about Big Tilly and Kane. They're standing here talking to my little girlies, you know, my girlies from Christmas time. Let me ask you a question. You talk about watermelon. You talk about watermelon. And you know what kind of watermelon we talking about? Listen.
Yes, sir.
Hey, match in Miami. You guys, I know, love Miami. I already put y'all over as great athletes and my posse and everything. But Big Tilly, Raging Bull Manny Fernandez is in this match with Morocco. What were your thoughts when you were a lot younger there and you seen the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez?
You sit there and you look at all the things you guys are doing. It's awesome because we get to stand on the shoulders of people like you going. Wrestling makes me want to wrestle. Ooh. Manny Fernandez, one of the best. Don the Rock Rocco, one of the best. Yes. My pleasure to be in this business, to be surrounded by the guys that are here. Yeah. Awesome match. Athletic is much better than back then it is today.
Cool. I'll go give you I'm gonna give him $10 later. You know what I mean? Hey, Don Morocco.
What do you Don Morocco was just amazing. For a big man, he was a big.
Was he handsome?
Yeah, he was. He was handsome.
Not better than you.
Not better than you, Dream.
But we know
not better than you, but he was a handsome man. He was built. He was a big man. He was a good wrestler.
Hey, let me tell you something. And the bottom line about this thing is this huge guy comes in with a mask on. You're going to see this. And Morocco and the Raging Bull, who was Manny Fernandez at the time, are in a heavy, heated battle. Later on, the big payoff came in the dressing room. So I want everybody out there, like I said once before, take an opportunity to say, guess who the big guy is. Make one guess. I know who it was because I was there. Who the big guy was in this confrontation between Morocco and Bull. What? Coconuts. Speaking of coconuts, Paul, what's up, bud? In the house. There, we're going to the match.
Having to come after you, but it appeared to me that you were totally aggressive in this. You were not backing away. You were not stalling for time. You kept the action going toward him.
You know, and all the times I defended my title, I've always gone on offense. I go after my man. I never play defense. You know, I'm always out there. I'm out there to show him that I deserve that belt, and I'll fight with what it is. As you can see here, he tried to get me. I come up with a drop kick there. Back to the arm, work on the arm, try to get him to submit that arm. Try to take the weakness out of the arm. That way, he's only got one arm to fight me with. And when he does that, well, that's to my advantage because I should be able to work on the man and make him give it, hopefully. But as you can see, Morocco's a tough man in his own. He's holding his own, too.
He's obviously not the kind of a man to give up easily. And, of course, if you can get that arm, you take away a point of balance, a point of attack, and a point of... all right, now, once again, here is where Morocco shows he has that tremendous staying power. Charges in, crashes that elbow into that steel ring post, and this, again, a good bit of good fortune for you.
Yeah, I was thinking. I saw him coming. I thought I could move. I barely got out of the way. Now I'm back to his arm. I'm working it. I'm still working it. I know by now that arm is feeling the pressure. I know that arm is going numb. I'm trying to get it now to submit. And the referee's asking, as you can see, and I'm trying harder and harder each time to make him submit with that arm. And I keep working. As you can see, I still go all after that arm. Make sure that he's only got that one arm to my advantage.
Morocco, of course, known as the most dangerous man in professional wrestling with that Asiatic spike. And, of course, right here he stunned you with that elbow and has you rock, now catches you in the throat with that spike.
I don't know what it is that he's got done to that thumb, but I'm telling you, that is a very dangerous thing that he does. He hit me in the throat, yes, as you could see. And I thought for a while there my Adam's apple split in half. It's hard to breathe because it clogs up all your air coming out of there. And now he's working on my leg, and he's working on the biggest muscle in my leg, thigh. It's so hard to move. See, as he took it, like I was taking advantage of his arm, now he's taking advantage of that leg. He's trying to get that leg, so I'll be on one leg, fighting him back on one leg. But I got a little fire on my own, and I don't give. I don't know what the word means. And I keep fighting back no matter what it takes. I got that Latin soul in me that just won't let me give.
And that Latin lightning has caught the magnificent Morocco. Morocco backing away again. The two of you close in, and again, Manny, you appear to be beginning to dominate the match.
Yes, you know, I had to go out of, I could wrestle, and I love to wrestle. And when a man takes me to the extremes, I have to use more than wrestling, I will do it. I will fight fire with fire. And now I go to his leg. I'm using spinning toe, as you can see.
And then that spike caught you again.
Caught me again. And it just takes all the wind out of you. It just like shuts your throat off. You know, you can barely breathe as it is. He throws me in, he whisks me in, he catches me again with that big spike. I'm literally stunned now. That thing is something. As you can see, he's opened me up pretty good.
A severe laceration, no question about that, using that spike once again. And the magnificent Morocco now obviously feels that he has everything going his own way. And again, presses that advantage. But, Manny, you're not to be turned back. You're not to be denied.
I'm not. I got the fire in me. As you can see, here it comes. The Latin's coming out. That Latin and lightning is coming now. I'm firing up. I'm going to get him now. I feel him. He's just overdid it. You can see the flying punch to the knee, the head. I'll do anything now. I feel like I got the upper hand. I'm ready to beat the man. I'm ready to keep my belt.
Beautiful vertical suplex, and all of a sudden, you crash into the referee. Frenchy Bernard stunned, knocked unconscious, coming off the ropes, both of you colliding with each other. Both of you are down. You try to get back to your feet, man. You tried gamely, but the lights went out.
Everything went out.
And suddenly, out of nowhere, appears this giant of a man, no question about this, comes crashing down across you, Manny. At this point in time, he suddenly leaves the ring as suddenly as he appeared. He is a massive individual. He must be nearly 7 feet tall, certainly no question about that. Morocco is still out, you're still out, the referee barely coming to.
That man came down on me, had to be well over 300 pounds, caught me in the sternum, shut off all my air so I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see nothing, and I just laid out.
And there, the fatal count of three. The fatal count of three. The referee, the ring announcer now making the announcement. The magnificent Morocco coming out of that dazed and stunned state, seeing you prone on the canvas, got that arm over. The referee not aware of what happened. It was a judgment situation with the referee. But now our camera crew followed this man back, went back, and now look at this. And this is most interesting.
You know what? There's some people, and everybody knows that here in Florida, there's a man called himself a bounty hunter. As we could see, that is money. And that big man, I think I know who he is, and I think most people know who he is. And you don't, and this is really disgrace to sports or anything that a man has to do, get paid to go out.
Well, now, wait just a moment. In fairness to everybody involved, yes, there's money seen here, but we don't want to be in libel or slander here that we don't know that money's being exchanged. However, it's fair to assume with Sir Oliver Humperdinck and the magnificent Morocco and this giant of a man who I'm beginning to concur with you. I think we know who it is, but I don't want to risk the chance of saying the name. Something is going on here. There's no question about it. A conspiracy, perhaps. Nonetheless, it has cost you the title, Manny, and a very, very, very disappointing situation.
You're telling me, well, I defended that title. He won that title. I must admit, I was beat, and I'll admit that.
The man who used to hold the Brass Knucks Championship and a fella who I've said many times would fight a buzzsaw and give it the first 2 rounds is a fella by the name of Blackjack Mulligan. Mulligan is a fantastic athlete with a, a sort of devil-may-care attitude about who he has to face. And we're going to take a look now at a little montage on Blackjack Mulligan. It's entitled Tougher Than Leather, and believe you me, he is. Let's take a look at Tougher Than Leather.
Blackjack Mulligan is one of the greatest names in professional wrestling. He's a tough man, probably the toughest man I've ever seen. Blackjack Mulligan has met and defeated many of the greatest names in professional wrestling. Blackjack Mulligan is a tough man. He's a rugged man. Many people say he's a throwback to the Old West. Some people even say Blackjack Mulligan is a throwback to the days of the outlaw. Well, Blackjack Mulligan is an outlaw. And some people have even tried to prove that Blackjack Mulligan is a reincarnation of an outlaw. J.J. Dillon is one of those men.
But is it proof? No, I don't feel that it is proof. And in order to get the answer, we may have to listen to the words of Blackjack Mulligan himself. From an excerpt from a recent interview, let's go now and listen closely to the words from Blackjack Mulligan.
You see, Abdullah, what you got to understand, you're the baddest man that has ever come down the pike. But it's so thick you can cut it with a knife. You can feel it in the air, the karma. And brother, what it really boils down to for you is just a little old-fashioned karma coming down on your head, Abdullah the Butcher. And believe what I say, my ancestry, my bloodlines, it'll live to be true, brother. Wait and see.
I'm going to tell you something now, Dylan. We told you to stay off this property. I'm going to tell you something right now. That road leads down here, but may not lead back. I'm going to give you the count of 3 to get off our property, or I'm going to blow your tail off. You understand? 1, 2, 3.
Fast karma coming down. A little old-fashioned justice going round. A little bit of sowing, and a little bit of reaping, a little bit of laughing, and a little bit of weeping. Just a little old-fashioned karma coming down. Coming down, coming down. It's just a little old-fashioned karma coming down. It really ain't hard to understand. If you're gonna dance, you gotta pay the band. It's just a little old-fashioned karma coming down. It's just a little old-fashioned karma coming down.
J.J. Dillon knows Blackjack Mulligan. He knows how tough and rugged Blackjack Mulligan can be. There have been times when Blackjack Mulligan has taken the action out into the streets. Well, let's look at one of those occasions.
Well, he went back to the town where it all had come down, and he searched, but his search was in vain. He had wanted to find her and say he was sorry for causing her heart so much pain. But one night he died from a poison inside, brought on by the wrong he had done. An old tougher than leather had carved his last notch on his gun.
The red carpet in Los Angeles can't be any more exciting than this. Merry Christmas, everybody. We've had a great show. Look forward to seeing you on some other ones, but I want to thank my best friend, Kevin Sullivan.
Michael, it's great to be here, but I have to ask you, hey, big boy, I want to see the tape of Christmas where Santa Claus stood beside me, because Santa Claus, he probably hates that. Santa Claus probably hates that you're wearing that hat. He hates it.
Hey, calm down, devil.
Santa Claus hates it. Listen to me. Keep quiet, Barry. He hates
his medicine.
You never know what's going to happen. Joan Rivers ain't got nothing on me. No fighting here on the set, all right? You're going to have time to do that, all right? God dang it. Everybody come over here, please. Everybody. We need to get everybody over here. All the tall guys in the back, which that leaves me and Kevin in the front. But anyway, I hope everybody's had a wonderful Christmas and a lot of fun. And from all my time here, Merry Christmas from Florida.
Hey, I got a surprise for you.
Oh, God, I knew this had to happen. It couldn't.
Can we say it in Spanish?
What?
Can we say it in Spanish?
Órale,
mi raza! ¡Feliz cumpleaños!
Whatever he said for everybody. Well, we'll see everybody. What? Dream.
Jingle bells. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey! Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse sleigh. Dancing in the snow. Anyway, Merry Christmas from Florida. We've had a great time. See you next year. See you next year. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Hey. Stay away from the edge of the pool. Stay away from... Come on, Barry. Come on, Barry. Come on. Ah, come on. Come on, Wyndham. Come on. Next year. See you next year. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Have the opportunity to ever do this and ever do an opportunity to communicate love and communicate yourself with others, you know what? Just show a bunch of love, you know? That's what it's all about.
Don't be loving on me, all right, Max?
Watching the show, you know what it is when you watch the show? You got to watch the show. When you understand who you're looking at and you see the talent of these beautiful professionals and guys that we call our friends, you know, all you can do is you can glorify their works, but you really got to glorify the creator. Like right now, I haven't told you a word of what I haven't had a script to tell you what I'm saying. Mike Graham is coming into the phone. Right here, Mike. Come here, Mike. I'm talking about hombre. I'm talking about watching the show right now, and I'm talking about that we never have to have a script to know what to say about it. And I'm telling about what other wrestlers at the time that were coming up to the times like Boris Malenko, like Eddie Graham, like Gory Guerrero.
Absolutely.
Like
your family is incredible.
Yes, no, your family is incredible. And I have most respect for your dad and for you, you know, and for your upbringing, because I believe Stevie could be a great wrestler. And I have a lot of expectations. And when he's ready to train, I'm there with him.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd fit in today because he's a real tough guy.
Yeah, but I like that. You see? Because he can kick some butt. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
And I like that. And that's the way your dad was. That's the way my dad was. That's the way all the older guys were.
That's the way wrestling should be.
That's right. It should be.
That's where it got. That's why it got to where it is today, because wrestlers were tough guys.
Yeah.
They could beat people up.
But you know what? What I was trying to tell them is that, you know, we don't need a script to talk.
Nothing more exhilarating than watching a world-renowned competition with unrivaled appeal, featuring popular superstars such as Michael Owen, Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry, Juan Pablo Angel, and Ruud van Nistelrooy. These top players and all your other favorites can only be watched here. Barclays English Premier League is on Events in Demand pay-per-view.
The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents Ultimate New Year's Eve. 40 of the greatest fights from the past 2 years. 6 action-packed hours of complete UFC fights. It's the Ultimate Fighting Marathon for the Ultimate Fighting fan. Make your New Year's Eve plans now to watch the best of the UFC. Ultimate New Year's Eve.